Hey, Quincy. So Coach yesterday was talking about how during the last game you were going up and down the sidelines, talking to offensive players, not just defensive players, encouraging everybody. I was wondering, is that something you've done at Temple? Have you done that previously at Miami? Is it because you're more comfortable here now? You just felt the team needed it? Can you sort of walk us through, why you sort of did that, and maybe if you've done that before?
I just kind of try to find my role, get in where I fit in. But that just comes with being excited for your guys. Being in the heat of the moment, being excited for your guys. Guys that you go to war with, you work out with, you build a lot of sweat equity with. And so that just come with being excited for your guys, trying to get your guys riled up, just being a team player.
Awesome. Next up, we have David Lake from Inside the U. David, go ahead.
Yeah, Quincy, wanted to ask you about, obviously the Clemson offside penalty you were called for earlier in the game. Obviously wasn't something you wanted to happen, but how much did that motivate you to come out and have a strong performance against Pitt? And just how did you internalize what happened in that moment in the Clemson game, I guess?
You really never want to get penalties against you. Sometimes they happen, but I wouldn't say it was the end of the world. But I've been trying to make it my focus to try to limit my penalties and limit my mistakes. I think as a team we did a great job around the board at that last game.
Awesome. Next up, we have Susan Miller-Degnan of the Miami Herald. Susan, go ahead.
Hey, Quincy. So what was it like wearing the turnover chain for the first time? Did you ever think about what it would be like beforehand?
Yeah, I've been trying to wear that chain all year. It was a great feeling though. I enjoyed it. Hopefully, I'll get to be back in the turnover chain. But I enjoyed it, man. It's a great feeling.
Wait, really? What's the best part of it?
It's kind of heavy. I was walking around for about 5 minutes. I had to take it off. It was kind of heavy.
Also, Quincy, now that you've been here a while, how different is the experience from playing at Temple, from the level of football itself to the city compared to Philly, to Miami compared to Philly? Both things, football and just the Miami compared to Philly.
There's obviously some differences. Just different city, different environment, different guys on the team. I wouldn't say it's just the regular difference, like different environment, different coaches, different players. But that's a hard question because it's I don't know. That's a hard question.
Miami, do you like Miami? What do you like about Miami? Because I love Philly myself also.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, I really love both cities. Like, I love my time in Philly and I love my time in Miami. Like, it's so different. Miami is so different than anywhere I've ever been. So, I've been enjoying myself over these last 10 months. And obviously, I'm really enjoying myself in Philly.
But as far as the football goes, Quincy, the level, Temple is, Miami's maybe plays better competition than Temple. I don't know. You tell me. Is there a big difference in the football itself?
I wouldn't say it's too big of a gap in competition level. We play some guys. Obviously, ACC football is a lot different schematically. Some guys are bigger. I think this is a really competitive conference this year. But it's the gap in competition and talent isn't what you would expect.
All right, we have time for a few more.
Thank
Next
you.
up, we have Tom D'Angelo from the Palm Beach Post. Tom, go ahead.
Hey, Quincy, a couple of quick things. Number one, I think so many people thought there was going to be a drop-off when Greg Rousseau decided not to play this year. And you guys, you two, yourself and Jalen are kind of there in the weeds. No one knew a lot about you because you hadn't played here. Did that kind of motivate you guys? Say, well, you lost what might have been the best defensive end in the country, but yet there's no drop off. What has allowed that?
That's kind of just I feel like when Greg decided to opt out, everybody on the D line decided to step up. We all knew he had to step up. He was a great guy on the team, great player, great leader in the locker room. But me and Jalen, Jafari, Cam, chance, you know, we kind of embraced our roles on the team. And as long as everybody embraces their role and just it seizes the moment, we'll be fine. And I think that's what everybody's been doing thus far.
Then following up on, I think it was Matt's question, the sideline, what Manny was mentioning was there was a specific time after they had scored their touchdown on their 1-yard drive, and then you guys had a punt, and he mentioned you getting on everybody in the sideline. Don't put your head down, because it's at other times in this program's history, that might have been a turning point and it might have gone south. But you guys came out, you got the strip sack, I think, on the next next series. Was that tell me about that time? Was that a point where you felt you needed a strong voice and you needed to make sure that that everybody just can, put that behind them and went out there and played hard?
Yeah. Sometimes being vocal is needed, and sometimes there's not. Sometimes that's you don't have to be vocal. So it's kind of finding a spot where it's just looking around, looking at the guys, seeing what the vibe is on the sideline, and just trying to be the best leader you can. Sometimes that's my role, and sometimes it's not.
Was that your role at Temple? Were you that kind of player at Temple?
I had a lot of help, but just like here, sometimes that was my role and sometimes it wasn't. I had a lot of good leaders around me, and Sean Bradley, Chappelle Russell, Sam Franklin, Amir stepping up this year, but I had a lot of help and a lot of good leaders around me, just like I have here.
Thank you.
Awesome. Next up, we're going to go to David Furones of the Sun Sentinel. David, go ahead.
Hey, Quincy, I wanted to ask about Jared Harrison Hunt, just, a guy that had this basketball background, before you got here, as a recruit, and then last season, redshirting. And then what are the strides you've seen in him since you got here and started working with him on the D-line and, to where he is now?
He's a guy that's made a tremendous amounts of improvement over the time that I've been here, just that I've been able to see, just not just on the field, but off the field too, everything kind of ties together. And so that's a guy that I think has a bright future, and I'm excited to watch. And I'm excited to watch him grow, and I'm excited to play beside him. But and I also want to play him in basketball too.
All right, our last question for you comes from Manny Navarro of The Athletic. Manny, go ahead.
Hey, Quincy, I don't know if these numbers are exactly right, but it says here you got one more QB pressure this year than Jalen Phillips to lead the team. It's according to Pro Football Focus. I'm curious if there's like an internal competition between you guys to, sort of lead the team in that category.
Definitely. We kind of push each other. I would say we push each other to be better every day. Obviously, he wants to have the most. I want to have the most. But I think that friendly competition right there is what makes both of us better, what allows us both to be able to go out there and compete at a high level.
And I guess, do the coaches tell you, who's in the lead? Do they give you all those stats, or how do you kind of get that information when,
we're usually on it, man. Right after the game, we're usually on
it. All right.
Awesome. Quincy, thanks for taking the time to talk with us, and good luck with the rest of the week's practice.
Thank you, guys.